All right, so I picked up all my ski stuff from my storage locker, as you saw in the last video, and I figured I'd do a completely unrequired, not asked for, not demanded gear review, where I kind of go through all my touring gear. It'll be a lot of stuff, so I'll try to shift it in sections. So first section will be like my actual gear, so like my ski stuff. Then it'll be safety stuff, and then it'll be like clothing, etc. if I forget anything. So yeah, hopefully not a long video, but if you're touring with like a pup, if you're ever touring with a dog, these are some good gear to have. He's not really intensive when it comes to touring, but it's a good guide, I guess, to how to overspend on ski gear and yeah, bringing your dog touring. So let's give it a shot. Boom. Okay, so first up, obviously you can't see, but these are my skis. These are QST 106s with, I forget how long they are, 181. So they're a bit short for me, but you know, it's good to have short touring skis for like kick turns and that sort of stuff. I got some shift bindings on there, so these are the Solomon version. Pretty sweet setup, if you ask me. Really versatile with the walk mode and everything. So yeah, QST 106 is solid ski to kind of do anything with. That's what I'm rocking these days. Similar to that, I have my G2 poles. So these are some pretty sweet touring poles, extendable. They have this like really long grip on them, which I really like, just because like when you're on a steep slope, you definitely want to be grabbing kind of the bottom and, you know, shifting your weight and stuff like that. These ones, I put a little bit of duct tape on it. Duct tape is low-key very clutch to have in the backcountry, either for like a wound or anything of that nature, and especially when I'm touring with the dog, it's always nice to have kind of some extra safety gear just in case something goes down. Okay. All right. In terms of boots, I have spent a catastrophic amount of money. The value of these skis and the poles is about the same as these Lang boots. I love these things. I'm trying to think. XT3 130 LV. I'm really not good with like actual ski gear, so if I overpronounce or, you know, say something stupid, sorry. But these are pretty sweet. Really solid ski boots. They got this like little walk mode on the back that I really love. And then these are, you know, grippy kind of bottoms that I really like using. So yeah, the Lang boot is a classic. Cool. All right, so in terms of other gear, obviously I got my POC helmet. Just love these things. Super light, but has MIPS, so safety first, obviously. Had this helmet for a decent bit of time. This is like the first thing that I upgraded when I started upgrading my entire setup. So yeah, POC helmet. In terms of goggles, I kind of flip between. These are kind of like my beater kind of lady glasses, but in case, you know, I'm in a rough setting, I'll use these ones. I have these old ones for like kind of same sort of thing, but they're just a little bit bigger. I got these from my buddy. So these are still with me, my dude. Just kind of like beater goggles. And then obviously the kings of the kings. Not everybody likes these, but I found that they're just super versatile and I really like them. So these are the Smith 40 mags. Just absolutely addicted to these things. They have this like curved lens on the bottom, so you can kind of like look down without too much pain. And it comes with a separate lens. So I got, you know, the really low light ones on here, and then I have kind of a dark lens as well. So that's kind of the goggle setup that I'm rocking these days. You know, I'm not you can really overspend on goggles, which I obviously did, but similar to the rest of the gear, it's nice to have once you have it. So. All right, sweet. So in terms of safety gear, I have quite a bit of it. Where do we start? Obviously, we can start with just the stuff that goes in the bag. So bone saw, in case you gotta chop a bone, or in case you need to, I've seemingly destroyed this thing, but in case you need to test the snow, really solid to just go in and just cut down on it. Pretty clutch bone saw, wasn't too expensive. What we also have is my probe. So obviously if you're in the backcountry, you know that the probe is a lifesaver. This is a relatively small one, especially for BC and like the backcountry. You definitely want something that's a little bit bigger than this, but for what I do and the likelihood of kind of injury, I think it's fine. I'll get into like protecting summit and stuff like that, because obviously this would be not very good to find him, but yeah, probe, very helpful. I got my classic BCA shovel. I really like this one just because it has like, most of them have this, but it's got like an extendo grip, so you can kind of extend the length a little bit and make it a little bit more usable. So this is obviously good to dig out your buddy if he's caught in an avalanche, or make a pretty sweet booter. So hopefully I have some footage of that I can share. In terms of the last kind of essential items, we obviously have my BCA tracker beacon. So these things are going to transmit kind of a radio frequency to your buddies, and it's the only way that you're ever going to get found in an avalanche. So this is the one I got. It's obviously attached pretty well. It kind of goes around your chest and stuff like that, but really like this one. Kind of a solid little cop. I got all three of these together from a buddy of mine who I haven't talked to in a bit, so I'll try to reach out to him. But thanks for selling me your stuff. Okay, in terms of the more expensive safety items, this is part 1 of 3 of a Mammut airbag system. So this goes into my backpack. It basically is a giant inflatable vest that uses compressed air to kind of explode. I think I have a video of it, so hopefully it's up here or up here somewhere. But these are actually really helpful. If you're ever caught in an avalanche, it's going to increase your chance of survival a little bit, because it's going to basically, kind of keep you above the surface of the avalanche and make it a little bit easier for your buddies to find you. So that is part of the bag. So I'll just put that right there. This is the air canister that it comes with. So you refill this whenever you need it. It's out right now, but normally you fill this up and kind of attach it to this this system here. Kind of screws in, and yeah, provides you a good amount of safety. Summit has seemingly got into the little top part of it. And then last but not least, it's my favorite item. It is my Mammut Dakine airbag backpack. So this one, obviously a pretty luxe item. You definitely don't need this when you're touring, and considering the amount that I do tour, I don't even really need it, but it's always sweet to have. So it's got like this big back area open here. I got my skins, which are my Pamok skins. I forget which version these are, not the pink ones, but the one kind of below that. So not the best grip, but slides pretty good. And yeah, so this is my bag. It's even got like a little back protector in here, which is sweet. So it kind of saves you from any like puncture wounds or anything that might be in your bag that, could potentially injure you while you're taking a fall. So love this thing. Fits all my gear kind of in here in a pretty easy way. So yeah, Mammut airbag by Dakine, or airbag technology. This is the Poacher 36 if you're thinking about size. So I think they make a 21, a 28, a couple other sizes, but this is the biggest one. Now again, not sure why I need it, but I have it, so it's nice to have. Okay, moving on, we have this, which shows my materialism. It's a snow study kit. I really haven't used this much. I've used it once, so it's not a full-on loser purchase, but it's got kind of all your essentials in there to test the snow, test the see what the actual snow grains are like, and give you a sense of safety while you're on the mountain. So always nice to have. I don't really bring it out often, but if the conditions are a little dicey, I'll take it with me. In here I kind of have like an essentials kit, so I have a bunch of different stuff in here that I'm not going to run through because it's going to be tedious, but like wax, a safety knife, stuff like that. So always cool to have. If you're ever caught in a bad situation, having an emergency blanket is key, so I just kind of keep one of these in my bag. The first aid kit, which obviously was very helpful yesterday, so always carry a first aid kit when you're on the mountain. I packed some extra stuff in here that has sort of like dog stuff, a little like dog splint and stuff like that, so always nice to have. Well, not always nice to have, required, and when you need it, it's nice to have it. So one thing that I was told by a nurse friend of mine is that always having a splint on you is pretty crucial. So if somebody breaks an arm, a leg, having a splint can actually save their life. So I always carry a SAM splint. It's basically just a piece of metal that is foamed up. So always have one of these. And then same thing, kind of like another safety bag, but this has got like a brush for summit, some matches, flint and steel, and a headlamp. So in case you get stuck out there, you can survive the night. Last but not least is these. These are BCA radios, the BC Link 2.0. So these are kind of the nice one. I bought both of them off Facebook Marketplace for pretty cheap. And again, something I don't need to have, but have. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's nice to have, and especially when you're with your friends in the backcountry building a booter, and you want to know when to start taking the footy. It's pretty crucial. So boom, BCA radios, dope. Cool. Okay. So the rest of this stuff is kind of like the kit that I wear when I'm out there. I'm missing one thing, so I have like a Patagonia vest that I wear all the time. Really good for touring, in terms of like just kind of staying warm while you're going up the mountain. You tend to warm up while you're touring, but having like a tiny little layer that kind of covers everything. But I don't have that with me, so it's basically just a Patagonia vest. But what I also have, that I do have with me, is my Patagonia R2. So this thing is super sick, has like just a good material on it, stays really, really warm, and has kind of like a waterproof layer on it. So always nice to have. I rock this. In terms of my jacket, this, I recently replaced it, but is a Arc'teryx Alpha SV. So these things are about as waterproof as it gets. Pretty rough material, or I guess like just tough material. But a really solid jacket, and especially here in BC when it gets rainy, it's always nice to have like a really good Gore-Tex layer that has like super good water protection. I'm trying to replace these, but this is my bib for now, a Baker bib from Flylow. I always like the bib just because it's like you got a bunch of extra compartments and it's kind of nice to just walk around in, so I rock that most of the time. I'll keep the gloves for last, but in terms of other gear, obviously the base layers, so I have a variety of different base layers, but my go-to is definitely the Smart Wool. I have like a 3/4 length just because I don't like it riding kind of below my sock level, so Smart Wool bottoms. I rock a Smart Wool top as well. Obviously Smart Wool is like the peak of the brand, and Summitaire has gotten into it, but just a solid base layer. I would advise anybody to get Smart Wool, kind of the best in the business. Same thing with the socks. I forget what brand this is. Darn Tough, obviously. I got 2 pairs of Darn Tough, so if one gets a little wet, if I'm there for like 3-4 days, it's always nice to have kind of a backup pair. I always carry kind of like this nice like chill, these like nice little tiny gloves, just because when you're touring you don't really want to have these big mittens on. So I rock these when I'm just kind of climbing up, keep my hands a little warm. And then I have a variety of different like head scarves, I guess is what you call them. This is the Jacquine one, don't really use that one very much. This is my favorite one, it's kind of that Smart Wool material. This is from Mont Royal. So this is, the go-to that I use, just a solid little warm piece of kit. So always carrying that. And then last but not least, in terms of the gear, I rock 2 different pairs of gloves. So if I'm going just basically a resort day, I go with these. These are Hestra kind of leather mittens with the lobster claw. Big fan of the lobster claw. It's always nice to have like a little, opportunity to pinch, but also have kind of your other 3 fingers warm. And so there's like different little inserts in there. So these are really, really solid gloves, super warm. And if it's even colder than that, I have these ones, which are kind of like my badass Gore-Tex mittens. So these are Hestra Gore-Tex mittens. Same thing, they have that lobster claw, but there's like a layer of Gore-Tex kind of here. So that's always nice to have. Definitely overspent a little bit on the gloves, but I highly recommend it. It's always worth it to have warm hands when you're on the mountain for a day. So that's the gear, and then last but not least, summit stuff. Okay, so I don't have all of it with me, but the crucial stuff is this. So I bought this vest for him the first time I ever took him touring, and I realized how impractical it is, because like, especially when he's, huffing and puffing down the mountain, just being able to like pick him up via this like briefcase kind of strap is super good. It's got little pockets in it too, so he can fill this with like his food and like his stuff or anything else that I want him to carry. And he's super good at that. So he's looking at me right now being like, dude, are we going out? Like, what's the deal? This is from Kong, but just like a typical vest. You can kind of get anything you want that like kind of fits this mold. It's got little bags, but yeah, super clutch for going with the dog. And the most important ingredient is the Musher Secret. So this is basically kind of like a wax, if you can see that. It's basically like a wax. You want to put this at their paws and underneath their belly. Basically what it does is it prevents like snow buildup. So when you go out in the backcountry, your dog is gonna he's just gonna be out in the snow, and as he's like kind of sweating and refreezing, the snow is gonna like kind of compact into these balls. It's just gonna stick to his hair, and that can be pretty serious for like hypothermia and stuff like that. So having a little bit of Musher Secret can go a very, very long way. Solid product. I didn't end up buying this, but it came into my possession somehow. But just a really, really crucial product. So yeah, that's my ski gear. Hopefully I can upload a ski video in the near future. But for now, yeah, little gear review that I just put together. So hopefully it's good. See ya!